Let's go, Dallas Cowboys fans. Don't worry, Jerry Jones can't fire me for my takes because this is flat out abysmal. And I am starting to get mad at Dak Prescott because before the season, I ranked him as the #1 quarterback in the NFC, and I released my first quarterback rankings of the season on Twitter, and, well, I couldn't even put him in my top 8. So you start the game off with a pretty lucky break, and I understand Dak's issues aren't just him, but, man, a lot of it is the structure of this offense. So this actually is a really good job by Dak. As you can see, you get a decent pocket, linebacker blitzes, and the middle of the field is deoccupied, and you want to hit the shallow drag to CeeDee Lamb every single time. He leads him perfectly, almost too far right there, and CeeDee Lamb is definitely one of the top 5 guys in the NFL you want with the football in his hands in this spot because he can do things like that, okay? And, man, the shake and bakes were there. He just couldn't make Anzalone miss. Actually, he does, and Branch is able to bring him down eventually. All right, so this is the most popular play on third and medium on all levels of football, and I know this because I do a lot of stuff on Power Hour SEC and Power Hour LSU, my college football channels. It's mesh, all right? And what's interesting with this mesh is you bring CeeDee Lamb into the backfield, right, because he generates so much gravity, and you're working over the middle of the field, and the best defense to run versus mesh is basically zone, okay? So you communicate, this linebacker picks up this drag, you pick up this drag, and where you want to throw the football is on the hook over the middle, okay? And Dak sees the hook right here to Jalen Tolbert, but he can't do anything about it. Alrighty, so this is interesting design, but the Cowboys need to know that mesh versus any NFL defense on third and medium, they're going to be prepared for it, right? So you get a pre-snap motion here with CeeDee Lamb, and mesh is just 2 shallow drags, and normally the answer for mesh from an offensive vantage point, if you're going up against zone, which the Lions are running, they have the perfect defense for the 2 actual mesh drag routes, is the hook over the middle. The problem here is the safety reads the hook, and you'll see right here, even if Dak was able to throw the hook, the safety was right there. So everything was perfectly covered, and then behind it, you get a really good game right here from the Lions, okay? They're running a game. A little twist done here, and Hutchinson is able to rip underneath this offensive guard and generate a pressure, and Dak has no shot. So the offensive play calling was predictable, and the protection was terrible, which is the story of the Cowboys. All right, really, really, really good quarterback play from Dak Prescott, okay? Once he sees that this linebacker is blitzing and this linebacker is blitzing, he knows it's man-to-man on this side. So if it's man-to-man on this side, you want to run the go versus the press corner, and Dak Prescott, instead of hitting the underneath stuff, he decides to actually take a shot, and with the guy right in his face, look at where he ends up placing this football. Not only do you avoid Anzalone there, he throws a back shoulder versus a rookie that Tolbert is able to bring in. Really good quarterbacking. And then we get to this 3rd and 6, and this was the route concept that Dak threw an INT on last year versus the Packers, which is double slants, okay? You want to read this inside out, and that's exactly what he does. And Dak sees Tolbert over the middle. It's not Tolbert, that's Turpin. And while getting hit, he hits Turpin right in the chest. I think if he leads him here, Turpin might score with the speed that he possesses, right? To where if he doesn't have to stop for this, he's able to run full speed. But because he had to stop, Amick Robinson was barely able to catch up to him. But it's still a nice gain on 3rd and 6. And then we get Dakota Ray doing something you shouldn't do, okay? I understand in this spot, it is straight man-to-man, okay? So they end up bringing a slot corner blitz, all right? So what Rain is seeing here is that this corner is coming out on Jalen Tolbert. So Dak is thinking that the corner is going to run down hard on Tolbert, and this corner route right here from CeeDee Lamb is going to be wide open. right? Because his safety, they're actually misaligned here, right? Anzalone, you'd think, would be running with CeeDee Lamb. He's not. So the safety is late getting over to Lamb, and Dak throws with a lot of anticipation. The problem here is the corner was, or this safety right here was too far back from Tolbert, and he was able to play CeeDee Lamb and Tolbert on this play. I understood what Dak was doing. This isn't the worst INT I've ever seen, but the safety was able to redirect, and Dak throwing with too much anticipation is what cost him here, okay? Trusting that this safety was going to come down here on Tolbert is what gets him lost here, and 32 makes a really, really nice play. All right, so this drives me crazy from an offensive standpoint. It's 3rd and 10. You're already down 2 possessions. Your defense is sucking, okay? I know you're backed up here, but you have to look at this as 2 down territory, right? You don't need to pick up all the yards, right? But Aaron Glenn knows Mike McCarthy is a little bit archaic in his thinking, right? So he says, look, we're going to bring a pretty heavy blitz because we're thinking that they're going to run everything past the sticks here, okay? So that's what the Cowboys do, right? And especially if it's a crowded line of scrimmage here, you want to check into some type of in-breaking route, all right? Something short, something over the middle to punish these man coverage assignments. But watch what the Cowboys elect to do. After chipping Hutchinson here, all of the routes are vertical. This is vertical, and this route at the bottom is also vertical, okay? And you have a protection mistake. 40 Lepke here gets caught up with this player, the twister, and this guy twisting around, big number 54, is through the A-gap untouched, which is the worst type of pressure. But you notice there's no in-breakers for Dak to throw, and he just has to eat this sack, right? It takes too long for that play to develop, and now you have to punt already down by 2 possessions. It's just not smart offense. Okay, 3rd and 6. This is what I'm talking about. Play for 2 downs here, all right? They show a blitz look and they back out, all right? Run short stuff, run short outs, right? Dak throws with a lot of anticipation. If he doesn't pick this up, you can go for it on 4th down. And guess what? Tolbert does not pick it up, all right? All right, and then we get to this 4th and 2. This is entirely on Dak Prescott. I have no idea what he's thinking, all right? Actually, Rashid Shaheed did the same thing in our Spencer Rattler film study, okay? And on that 3rd and 10 play, we broke down a play just like that of Drake May. Both of those film studies are down below. All right, so you'll see in this spot on 4th and 2, Jake Ferguson is like, hey, I'm clapping my hands. I'm open. Now, he's not wide open. There is a corner right here. So Dak is afraid that this is going to get broken up. I get why Dak did not decide to throw it. But he works to the far side of the field to Kavontae Turpin, who gets the pass broken up. All right? Should he have thrown that ball to Ferguson? Let me know down below. All right, so we get to this 4th and 2. And once again, it's Aiden Hutchinson making a play. All right, so Dak starts off looking to the right side. You guys let me know if you think that he could have thrown this football to Ferguson right here. I think he could have, and that's moving the sticks, okay? That is past the line to gain. Bang, right? Throw it right to your big target. You're picking it up. Now, the problem here is Dak decides to work all the way backside to Turpin, and, well, this just isn't there, okay? And it's batted away. The funny thing is Aiden Hutchinson on the spin move creates enough pressure where Dak wants to get rid of it. He did also have CeeDee Lamb down the field, okay? I think of all the options, Dak ends up picking the worst, right? If he wanted to throw this ball to Tolbert, I think that's being completed. I think Ferguson's getting it. I think CeeDee's getting it. And Dak chose the wrong one. Alrighty, so we get to here. It's 27-3. You really need a touchdown. Obviously, you want some form of points. And how can any quarterback survive when your right guard is getting blown right back into your lap? Okay? There's just nothing you can do. Nothing. All right? I don't know if the guard was tripped, but 54 just ate the Cowboys alive in this first half. All right, this was encouraging. Second half, obviously, it's a lot to a little. 4th and 5. And this is just give it to me all day. In breaker with CeeDee Lamb. Maybe the Cowboys play a lot more Lamb in the slot moving forward. It's easy pitch and catch. It's not really anything too impressive. But, the Lions had started making things easy for the Cowboys at this point in the game. Yeah, this really didn't make a lot of sense to me, okay? So you motion here, you get a clear man coverage indicator into the bunch, all right? We just did we did do a Joe Flacco film study, but we just did a Kirk Cousins film study, and nobody has been working bunches better than the Cowboys. So this is poor quarterbacking right here from Dak Prescott. So you get a man coverage indicator, and CeeDee Lamb and man coverage is where I want to go with the football every single time, okay? And we just did a film study with Kirk Cousins on how the Falcons are killing teams running trips bunch, okay? And the guy that I want to work with on the bunch is the guy who's trailing the bunch, right? Because there's just so much traffic that the DB has to dig through. Dak starts off looking to the left, and guess what? CD is right here on the end breaker, okay? All right? If you would have just read this out, even though the protection does break down, okay, you have it, right? You do. Now, once again, not a good sight for the Cowboys to see a legend, number 70, okay, getting blown into Dak Prescott's lap, all right? Could Dak have stepped up here and helped out? Maybe so, but, everything's just dead. Everything is just flat out dead. He does step up, but he does eventually take the sack. Oh, God. Alrighty, Cowboys fans, let's wrap this up, okay? But so Dak Prescott, man, 17 of 33. Ugh. And look, Zach Martin, number 70, I didn't want to mention him by name, but it's always tough when a franchise legend just completely falls off. He can't make this block on the twist versus 54, who looked like prime Warren Sapp in this game on this 4th and 9. Dak Prescott sails an open CeeDee Lamb here, and it's an interception, okay? So as you guys saw throughout the film study, the middle of the Cowboys offensive line really struggled blocking the lines, and this was not with Aiden Hutchinson in the lineup after he got hurt, right? So Dallas has major protection issues. They have major offensive flaws that we brought up after the Pittsburgh Steelers game. And overall, there's just a lack of continuity, right? You don't have a whole lot of juice at the running back position. You don't have a whole lot of juice at the wide receiver position outside of CeeDee Lamb. So this is just a mess, right? The season isn't over. It's 3-3, but I do have a stat for you at the end of this. Dak Prescott's 11 QBR was the lowest QBR since the 2022 season, right? That was the last time he even had a QBR under 20, right? So this is his second game with the QBR under 40. So obviously he's not playing the best when he just got signed to the $60 million a year deal. So you guys let me know what's going on here with the Cowboys' third, and I mean third, blowout loss at home. And our NFL boom. And tonight, we're doing brisket. Let's go.